Hi. Hi everyone. So today I am making a video on midterm report. Okay. So as we have already given a midterm report to you all guys. Okay. So here what actually our intention is. So in the midterm report or in the Viva, so there will be some questions. Okay, will be asked. So this video is mainly for the students who are doing the projects on machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, NLP, and all those things. Okay, so here we are going to cover the what are the frequently questions asked. Okay, what are the possibility questions they will going to ask you for in the midsum. Okay, and what are the procedures, softwares that we are going to install, how the application is going to work. Okay, what are the algorithms we are going to use. Okay, so whatever the we have mentioned in the midsum report that we are going to cover here. Okay, so please go through this video completely. Okay, so now here the first thing in your project. So as I told you that I am going to start this video for the students for the machine learning, deep learning, and all those. The first thing we need to think about is data science. Okay, so what is the data science? I think you all have heard about this word called data science. Okay, now in this data science, okay, so now the data. Okay, what is data? Data means here is a raw information. Okay, so to convert any raw information to useful information is called as a data science. Now in your project we have given you the some data sets. Okay, from that data sets what you are doing, you are predicting the something that will be helpful for the future. So that is what the data science here. You are having some information, but that is a raw information, that is unuseful information. But by taking that information, you are converting into useful information. So that can be easily accessible, that can be helpful for the future prediction. Okay, so that is called as a data science. Okay, now in the data science what happens? Okay, so now suppose this is the data science. Now in this data science, okay, the first subject we are going to see that is the AI, artificial intelligence. Then the subset machine learning. Okay, and in that the AI concept is called as a deep learning. Okay, so here and the data science. Okay, so the deep learning is subset of ML, ML is subset of AI, subset of data science. Okay, now whatever the year we have given like machine learning algorithms, so your project, whatever the title, you call it as a AI also. Okay, that is also fine because this AI or the data science project that all comes under these are the all the subsets. Okay, so here what happens in this okay, so now we come here across the AI. What is the AI here? It is a artificial intelligence. Okay, what is the artificial intelligence? Okay, now for example I will take the example of robot. Okay, what is the robot? Now for example, see now here the what happens, the robot. Now while developing the robots, okay, so I will and I need to give an instruction to robot that if you see any person, just go and shake a hand, okay, with that person. So here what happens, I need to now the how the person now the how the robot will going to identify the particular person. Okay, so that is the main question. So what I need to do, I need to train here that person. Okay, that because the robot need to understand how the person look like, what is the shape, features of that persons. Okay, so that we need to train here. Okay, now here the what happens, the artificial intelligence. Now suppose here I will take one example of human. Okay, now this human will be having hardware and software, right? Hardware. Now suppose this is the hardware and software. What are the hardware? Hand, leg, and all those things are the hardware. And our software is a brain. Okay. Now here in the artificial intelligence, now if I take the example of robot, what is the hardware here? Like this hand, legs, those are the hardware components, right? What is the software? Is brain. Means here how we are going to train the robot. Okay. Now how we have been trained, like in the from the starting from the LKG, UKG, we have been trained for till now. Okay. So like that we need to train a system. Okay, so that how we are going to train the system, so that comes under this concept called as a machine learning, deep learning. How we are going to teach a system, okay, how we are going to train the system, okay, that is called as a machine learning. Okay, machine learning, that and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Now for example, okay, what I will do here is just I will erase these things. Okay, now suppose here I will take one example like the person age, BP. So now this is suppose my information, okay, and this is a target mine. Now if the person is having age like a 30, BP is a 120, sugar is a 120, then he is a healthy person. Okay, so this is my target 30, 150, 150 means just I am giving the small example here. Okay, 40, 160, 180. So this is unhealthy. Okay, 35, 120, 130, 155, one. Hi, he's a 100%. Now I have given this information. Okay, now I will give an input. Like now the suppose the person age is 40 and age BP is 120, sugar is 120. Now what is the answer? What will be your answer? So your answer will be like healthy person. Okay, I will give here as a 40, 160. Okay, 160. What will be your answer? Here unhealthy. Okay, now I have given you this information and you have predicted this one, right? Now without having this information, can you predict this one? No, right? So that is called as a data sets. Okay, to do any data science project, we should have some previous information or raw information, that is called as a data sets. Without having any data sets, we can't predict anything. Okay, so like that, now I have given you this information and you have predicted the result. But here the main thing is, okay, now this what how you have understood this concept. Okay, now the same way you need to teach to the system. So how we are going to teach the system? That comes the main difficulty part here. Okay, so now you need to train the system. How you are going to train? You are going to train with the help of algorithms. Okay, what are the algorithms? Okay, now you are going to say step by step procedure. Okay, what now for example I will give you 5 4 1 2 3. Now I will give you the sort this number. Okay, so after sorting what happens? 1 2 3 4. Okay, 3 4 5. This is the sorting. But as you have learned this in the third fourth standard, you have sorted. But now how you are going to teach the system to sort this one? Okay, so that here the main difficulty. Okay, now in the if you have done the degree and all those in the science, computer science, you have heard about the some sorting algorithms, right? What are the sorting algorithms? Okay, like bubble sort, okay, merge sort, okay, like that you have heard about the sorting algorithms, right? Now here what happens? See, this bubble sort. Now there is a technique. Now how the system is going to run? Now this with the help of bubble sort. Now bubble sort technique, what happens? Whichever the number is greater, that number need to be swapped. Okay, 9 5, like 5 and 4, which is a greater 5. So 5 need to be comes down. 4, okay, here. Then 1, 2. And now the 5. 5 will compare with the 1, which is a greater 4, 1, 5. Okay. So now I will compare with the 5 and 2, which is a greater here. Like that, if I'm going to do, so this is called as sorting. Okay. I'm not going to go in the depth. Okay. So this is the technique of the sorting algorithm. Okay. Now, this technique will be understood by the user. Okay, the similar way we need to tell the system. Now here for this telling the system to understand this kind of data, so we are going to use the machine learning algorithms. Okay, what is this machine learning algorithm? Okay, there are a lot of machine learning algorithms are there. Okay, but here in the based on the type of data. Okay, here what happens based on the type of data, the machine learning algorithm have been divided. Okay, there are three approaches are there. One is a supervised learning, another one is unsupervised learning, another one is a reinforcement learning. Okay, now here comes the supervised learning. Okay, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Okay, now supervised learning means what? Okay, now in the supervised learning means, okay, you should have know the already the answers. Okay, like for example target. Now for example here I will take the example like age, BP, sugar target I have given. Here I have given as a 30, 120, 120 healthy. Okay, what is your prediction? Healthy or unhealthy? So you are having this column. So this target column, it is called, if you are having this target column, then we are going to call it as a supervised learning. Okay, if we know the answers already and we need to predict that answers, then that comes under this supervised learning. In this supervised learning, there are two types of data. One is discrete data, another one is a continuous data. Okay, what is this discrete data and continuous data? For example, here the discrete data means now whatever now I am having this target column. Okay, now in this target time, my answer is only two. Either it is a healthy, unhealthy, right? So healthy, unhealthy. If you are having healthy, unhealthy, yes, no, male, female. Okay, is a cancer, non-cancer, stage one, stage two, stage. If you are having only that means that kind of data, so that comes under this discrete data sets. Okay, so if you are having discrete data, so that time you are going to make use of a classification algorithms. Okay, what is it now? This classification algorithm consists of KNN, okay, naive Bayes, decision tree, okay, random forest tree, okay, SVM, support vector machine, okay, XGBoost. Okay, like this we are going to have the algorithms. KNN, nearby decision random forest tree. Okay, so in your project I think you are going to get this data about the algorithms. Okay, so what are these algorithms? Okay, these algorithms have been, okay, so if you are using this algorithm, that means you are having the discrete data. So in your examiner they will ask you which algorithm are you using? KNN, naive. Okay, why you are using this algorithm? Then you need to say that according to my data sets, my data is a discrete data, so that comes under supervised learning. So that's the reason I am using this classification algorithm. And here the main thing they will ask you, in the classification algorithm there will be a lot of algorithm. Why are you using specifically? Now suppose in your project I am using only random forest and decision tree. Why you are using this algorithm? Then you need to tell about the literature survey. Okay, you need to give the explanation about the literature survey. In the literature survey, what we are going to mention, what are the previous methods they have used. If the previous work has been done, which algorithm they have used. Okay, so how much accuracy they are getting. So that detailed explanation will be given in the literature survey. So that you need to explain here. Okay, I think you are clear about this classification algorithm with the discrete data. Now I am going to go with the continuous data. Continuous data means you are having the target column, but the value will not be fixed. For example, weather report. Today it may be different, tomorrow it may be different, afternoon it may be different, morning it may be different. Okay, like stock market, today it may be different. Okay, so if you are having the data in that changing randomly, okay, so that is not fixed, that is not constant, that is called as a continuous data. If you are having a continuous data, that time you are going to make use of a regression algorithms. Okay, what are the linear regression algorithm? Linear regression, okay, polynomial regression, elastic net regression. Okay, then what you call it as a linear polynomial, multilinear. Okay, so these are the algorithms we are using. If they ask you why you are using this algorithm, then you need to say that we are having the continuous data. And if they ask you why you are using elastic net regression, that time you need to say about the literature survey. The same thing here. Okay, understood? Okay, so the next thing we are going to continue this comes under the supervised learning. Now in the unsupervised learning. Okay, sorry, make here. Unsupervised learning is what? Okay, now suppose here I am not having the target itself. I am having only age, BP, sugar. I need to predict whether the person is healthy or unhealthy. I am not having any target column here. I need to identify automatically and I need to predict that one. So if you don't have the target column and we are having only the dependent variable like age, BP, sugar, so that comes under this unsupervised learning. In that case, I am using we are going to use like a k-means clustering. Okay, clustering algorithms we are going to use k-medoid. Okay, so like that, these are a priori. These algorithms, if you are using in this project, means your data is comes under this unsupervised learning. Okay, reinforcement learning is not required because we are not given any reinforcement learning. Okay, reinforcement learning, for example, system study by itself. Okay, so that like robot, like Tesla cars, that comes out of concept, and this is a reinforcement learning. Okay, understood. Now here, so this is the basic information about the data science, machine learning and algorithms. Now see, now if I have given this information and I need to apply this algorithm. Okay, so how I am going to do? So there is some procedures we need to follow. Okay, steps are the procedure. Okay, now here the first step is, okay, if you are doing any machine learning project, the first step is a collection of data sets. Now here what happens? So there are some websites are there like kaggle.com, UCR, repository, like there are or GitHub. Okay, there are different types of websites are there. Okay, these websites which help us to get the data sets. Okay, from these websites, okay, we're going to get the data sets for whichever for our projects. Okay, like that. So that is the step one. Step two. So step two is a main very important step, that is the data pre-processing. Okay, what is the data pre-processing here? Okay, data pre-processing here what happens means rearrangement of a data in a proper format. Now suppose now I'm having these data sets like age, BP, sugar and now suppose here I will give like a 30. Okay, now this column is information is missing, this is information is missing, and here they have given a healthy. Okay, now here what happens, these values are considered as a null values. Okay, or not a number values in like that. Well, here what happens, if you are going to pass this information to the algorithm, this data will be not fitted by this algorithm because this null values will not accepted by this algorithms and algorithm. So here what happens in the data pre-processing, we need to arrange the data in the proper format. Okay, the first step here we are going to do it is a that is a finding missing values. Okay, finding missing values. Finding missing values means now in your project, now if you are having, no, there are one missing values is there. Now after finding, so either we are going to drop the missing values or fill the missing values. So there are two conditions. When we are going to drop, suppose now I am having 1,000 data and there are only 1,000 data I'm having and some 10 to 20 data are missing. So that time I can drop. Okay, so it will not going to affect anything. Suppose I'm having 1,000 data and there are 50 data or 100 data are missing. Okay, then we can't draw. We need to fill the values, because what happens whenever we are going to predict anything. Okay, if you are going to send the algorithm to any data to the algorithm, that should be in huge in number. Okay, so because it will be, then the accuracy will be more. So in that case, what happens? So we need to fill the values. Okay, how we are going to fill? So we can use a mean statistics method like mean, median, mode, standard deviation. These are the things we are going to apply. Okay, after finding missing values, so what we are going to do? Okay, finding missing, then we need to do the EDA. Okay, what is that? Exploratory, okay, data analysis. Okay, what is the exploratory data analysis here? Okay, exploratory data means analysis of each and every column. Okay, now for example, now you see here, I want to predict the person is healthy or unhealthy. So to predict person healthy or unhealthy, whether all the three columns are required, age, BP, sugar. Okay, now you can say that you say, sir, all the three are required because you are familiar with the age, BP, sugar, and all those. So you are telling. But there are some other factors are there like serum creatine, like that. Other informations are there. So then it will be difficult at that time to analyze which data are necessary. Okay, so for that purpose, so we need to analyze each and everything about the data. Okay, so that is called as a exploratory data analysis. Means which columns are required to predict the person is healthy or not healthy. Whether all the columns are required, or we need to drop some columns. That will be analyzed in the exploratory data analysis. Okay, then we need to, in the data pre-processing, we are going to split the data. What is the split the data? Okay, so now here, first thing what we are going to do, we are going to split the data into two formats. Okay, X and Y. X, Y. Now X consists of age, BP, sugar. Okay, and here the Y-axis is our target. That is a healthy and unhealthy. Okay, that column. So we are going to split the data like this, X and Y. Then what we are going to do after splitting the data, we are going to split into train and test. What is a train and test? See, when you go to the college, teacher first she will train you, then she will conduct a test at how much you have understood. Like that in our project, we are going to split the data. Now suppose here how many data I am having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 data is considered as a 100%. Okay, now I will make it as a 80% for training, okay, and 20% for testing. You can make it as a 70-30, depends on. See here what happens. So how much you are going to give the training data to system. Like say, if your teacher will going to train you more, your result will be more, right? Like that. So we can take a 80, 20, 65, 35, okay, 70-30 like that we can take. Now here we have taken 80% for training and 20% for testing. What is the 80% for training? Now in the 80% means, now suppose like 5 data for training and 2 data for testing. So here how it will going to convert? It will going to convert into like this, X train, Y train. Okay, X test, Y test. Like this it will going to convert. Okay, in the X train, what is in the X column? Now here what I am, whenever I am going to split here train, so it will take a random data. Okay, like this, if I am going to take a random. Why? Because see now suppose there are in the starting only there are healthy and at the end unhealthy are there, so it will be not be trained na? So it will take the randomly data. In the X train, suppose it will take a 5 data. What are the 5 data? Okay, 30, 120, 120. Okay, then 30 I will just suppose I will fill this one like 30, 150, 150. Okay, 35, 155, 165. Okay, 40, 120, 120. And what is a Y train? Y train means answer of that, healthy, unhealthy, unhealthy, like that. Okay, healthy, unhealthy, unhealthy, healthy. So this is the extreme Y train. Remaining X test data. What is the X test data? Suppose that is a 40, 160, 180. Okay, remaining is a 40, 160, 40, 160, 160. What is the y test of that? Unhealthy, unhealthy, right? So now what I'm going to do, so now this my pre-processing step has done. Now my next step is data modeling. Step 3 is a data modeling. Means I am going to now I'm going to use the classification algorithms. Why? Because I'm having LD and LD. Otherwise, you can use the linear regression algorithms like that. Now here what happens? Data modeling. I'm going to pass this X-train, Y-train data to this data modeling means this algorithms, classification or any algorithms, whatever we are having either classification or linear algorithms. Okay, so then this algorithm is going to train. After training, then we need to conduct a test, right? That how much this algorithm. So what I will do after training that one, I will going to pass I will going to test the data. Okay, so for the test what I will do, I will pass this X test data, okay, to the test data. Then after passing the X test data to the test data, so then we need to, so it will going to give you some prediction. Like when the exam is conducted, you will going to write answer, right? So that is your Y prediction. Suppose now you have written unhealthy, healthy. Okay, your algorithm means KNN has predicted unhealthy, healthy. So out of 2, how much you have got? Only 1 correct. Means your algorithm accuracy is 50%. And another algorithm, suppose now this is the KNN. Okay, for the navy base it is giving the both unhealthy, healthy. So 2 by 2, this is a 100% accuracy, right? So like that we are going to do. So here what happens? Okay, now when we are having this kind of data, okay, so means we are prediction. So here we are going to check for the 2 to 3 algorithms. Why? Because we don't know which algorithm will going to give the better result. So that's the reason we are going to make use of 3 algorithms, 2 algorithms in our project. Okay, so which will help to compare the result study. Okay, now whatever these steps we have done, okay, so that mm, uh, whatever this implementation, then this implementation will be going to be shown. Okay, so how we are going to show it? Now for the whatever the steps we have done now, so for this we are going to use some algo like see for the collection of data. Now for the data pre-processing, what I will do, I will use a numpy pandas libraries. Okay, numpy pandas libraries will be used for this. Okay, and for the exploratory data, I mean to draw the graph and all those, I am using a Seaborn and matplotlib. These libraries will be we are going to make use of. Now for the train test and for the algorithm, I am using the sklearn. These are the libraries I am going to make use for the my project. Okay, so these are the steps. So they will ask you means what are the libraries you are going to use, what are the tools and technology use. Okay, now to do all those things in one program, so what we are going to do, okay, so what you people need to do, you need to just go to the search bar and just type anaconda download, anaconda download. So you can see the first link here. We need to just download this anaconda. Okay, after downloading this anaconda, okay, what we are going to do, okay, so here, okay, after now I have downloaded the anaconda, just you type in the search Jupyter. Okay, now we're going to see this one window opening the Jupyter. Okay, like this. This is the window. So here we are going to create a new notebook. So this is what you have done. Okay, what you have analyzed that you need to tell. Now here we are going to import, okay, numpy as np import as pd, like this we are going to, you just need to write the shift enter to run this one. Okay, and it is running successfully. Just I will type print I. Okay, so you need to tell them that these are the softwares I have downloaded. See here, you are unaware about the unaware of Python and all those things. So in the midterm, up to your 7 weeks of progress, what you need to tell, I have gone through this all the things. Okay, I have learned about the algorithms, what are the procedures I need to apply, what are the softwares are required for my project. Okay, what is Jupyter Notebook? Okay, so how I'm going to show all those things. What are the libraries? I have studied about the NumPy, Pandas. In the coming weeks, I'm going to start the implementation and I will going to show the work. Like that, you need to show them and you need to tell the result. Okay. So